Good morning, everyone. I'm back, and again, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I want to do some serious pouring today. What I want to start with is this the updated list of June 2018, and I want to talk about. Oh no! First, thank you guys for sponsoring me, and I really appreciate it. Then I want to talk about this. Now, you can. I'm sure you can remember this pour. It was on a background color, and then I poured this over it. But the thing is that what happened, and I'll show you a close-up, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. As you can see, a lot of cracks. Now, I get a lot of questions about the cracks, and this was my own fault. I did this myself because I had it in my studio drying, and it was like only, I think, about 18 hours the day after I poured it. I thought it was beautiful weather. I thought it was dry to the touch, and I put it outside. Now, what happened is that, as you can see here where the paint is thin, that was already fully dry. But in the middle where there's a little bit more paint, it wasn't fully dry. So when you put it in the sun, what happens is the top layer dries really fast, and then what you get is cracks. So if you're experiencing cracks, never put your painting outside before it is totally dry. And I'm talking like I'd wait at least 3 to 4 days before you put it outside. And if you live in a country where the humidity is pretty high, I'd even wait a couple days longer, because, you know, when it's not fully dry, you put it in the sun, that's what you get. You get the cracks. Now, then I was thinking, because, once there are cracks, you're not going to get that out of there. Well, you can varnish it, and then, sometimes these little cracks they just add to the whole thing. But what I'm going to do is something different. And also I have here a brush that is, as you can see, as hard as rock with paint. So I'm going to do the downy softener thing a little bit later today, because there's no way I'm going to be getting this out of it with water, because as you can see, it's totally rock hard. So that's what we're going to do too. But first we're going to make something out of this cracked up painting, and I just need a little stick. So what I mixed up is a little bit of gold. As you can see, that's gold. And I put it, I mixed it with a little bit of pouring medium to give it, a little bit of a fluid thing. Then I put it on my, and I'm going to make sure that I have a cloth, but I put it on my finger like that, and I just rub it in. I'll rub it into the cracks like that. And then what you want to do is go over it with a cloth and take off the top, and what's in the cracks will stay behind, as you can see. Now, that's something that you can do with a painting that is cracked. Now let me get something else. Now I wanted to get a clean rag, but we'll just do this because it's just, experimenting, just showing you what you can do. So going over everything that has cracks, but don't do the whole thing, because this will dry on you and then you won't get it off. So do little bits like this, and then come in with your clothy thing and take the top off like that. And then you'll have all these little cracks will be filled with gold, and then you can come in and you can do a varnish layer. Now, just having the cracks gold might not appeal to you, that you might think, well, then it's really obvious that I had cracks and put some gold in there. And that's true. But what you can do is come in later with one of those gold markers, and you can make something totally different on top of it. You can embellish it. I kind of like what it's doing. It gives a golden sheen over it, as you can see, and it really picks up the whole painting. So I think it's kind of pretty what it does. And you can even do this 2 or 3 times, because sometimes you take off a little bit too much with your cloth. So then just let it dry and come in again and do it one more time. You can do that. And absolutely take off where you think you don't want the gold. You know, you can leave it on more or less. It's not really a rule that you have to take it all off. Just take off what you want to take off. So, see where the cracks are. Just put a little bit more in there. And it really does give it a sort of a different finish, I guess you can call it. Now I have a little bit left here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it outside, because we're having one of those days where it's not too, the sun isn't shining too much, but it's kind of nice for drying stuff. So I'm going to put this outside and give it a varnish layer today. So I just might even keep this video and finish it off when I can varnish it. There we go. Just coming back in with the rag. There we go. I think that's about as much as I want on there of the gold stuff. See that? There's a little bit of cracking here. There's no cracking there. Oh, there's a little up here. I could do that, but I think this is pretty enough. Now, when it's dry, you can come in with a golden marker and do all kinds of stuff on it. Let me find a marker. Oh, there are my markers. Now, I have here a Posca gold marker, and you really want to first pump it up so you get a lot of fluid out of it. And what you can do is just embellish it, do what you want. This is kind of a Zen work. If you were to put all these little bubbles all around it, and you could do it with dots of I'm going to try that in a bit. So this is the Posca marker, but as you can see, it's pretty bland. It's not really when I put it in the light, it's not really picking up the light and making it looking beautiful. So what I like to do is get a brush and with the same that I put in the cracks, with the same paint, I'll just come in and do on the bottom of the brush. You can just make these little dots. Those are the ones, as you can see, with the fluid, and here you have the Posca marker, and as you can see, the Posca doesn't really look really beautiful. It doesn't shine, and I'll have to wait till it's totally dry before I can put this over it. So here we go again. Sometimes you gotta help it be a little bit round, but that's sort of what you can do, and you can work on the whole painting. I'm going to take it off now because I don't want to do that just yet. But as you see, this is pretty thick. You can even make it a little bit thinner. With a little bit of pouring medium. Make it a little bit thinner. And if it's not thin enough, you can then add a little bit of water if you want to. Making it really fluid. Okay, that's about it. Now we're putting on bigger dots. There you go. And this shines just as the paint does in the cracks. So that's kind of complementary to the cracked gold. And you can just go about it and put them in any pattern that you like. I'm going to finish this one because I just want to show you the difference. That goes pretty fast. Gotta have a little smaller ones up here, smaller ones down here. There we go. Now it's sort of an you know, embellished embellished pour. Got to put a few more up here, and a few more down here. I am following sort of, you know, what I see in the painting in the pour, and you can do that, or you can just do whatever you like with it, because, you know, it's more of a personal preference that how you put the dots on. But I like to have it, you know, sort of flowing, that it resembles something that is going all over my canvas. As you can see, there it goes. Sorry, I'm out of the frame. But as you can see how fast this goes, you know, it's really not that much of a job to do. And usually I would do this with a little bit of music on, just, you know, relax and do this little dot style. But that's about it. Okay, I think that's enough. Yeah, it's looking pretty. As you can see where it starts, and then coming up here. There we go. That's it. Now, of course, you can do a lot of other stuff if you like. You could get one of those really pointy brushes, and you could give it a long swipe down here in the middle, and you could even do this in different colors. It's all really up to your imagination, but this is how I think this is the best way to sort of make a pour gone wrong better. I see a few cracks I'd like filled in here. So you can do that and make it into something special. Okay, guys? Yes. Okay, I'm going to put this one out in the sun because, like I said, I want to give it a varnish layer. And I'll show you how it pulls up the colors and makes it into something really nice. So I'll see you in part 2 later. Okay, we're back. Let me see if I'm not on slow motion. No, I'm not. This is what I did a couple of hours ago, and I want to show you that the colors do intensify with a little bit of varnish. So this time I'm using the this one. This is the most sold varnish I have. Now, I know a lot of people have trouble with varnishing, and again, the thing what you need to do is put on a really thin layer, like I'm doing here, and really brush it in. Make circular motions, and then long stripes, but as you can see, especially where there's these little crevices, you want to really get it in there. And I'm just using a normal paintbrush, but that's the thing, because you want a really thin layer, really thin. So that's that bit. And you can pretty much see all those colors come to life. And you can see how I'm really brushing it in. Making the circular motion. And then coming in and going in one direction. That's pretty important, because no matter what you do, you know, how much you do it in the circular motion, as long as you end with nice, smooth, vertical or horizontal stripes, that's okay. So that's it. That's how fast it goes. As you can see, everything is covered. Minimal stripes, because it's a really thin layer. And if you want to make sure, you can just do the last swipe you do. There we go. That's the last one. And we're going to let this dry. And if you're really serious, as you can see now, there are, you'll see a couple of little stripies here, but they'll be gone once it's dry. And you want to come over with another layer, another thin layer, and really let them dry in between layers. That's very important. But this is how I do it, and absolutely you'll not get any cracks whatsoever. You will if you come in and start with one thick layer. It looks really beautiful when you do that. I don't know if I have an older, let's see if I have an old canvas. Yeah, I do. This one is the one that I don't care about. See, the thing is that when you're working with this polyurethane stuff, even if I did this, look at it, like a top coat, and I'll hit the light with it. Look how smooth that is. And it's really that you just can't help yourself, but you're thinking, wow, that's beautiful. Let's put some more on there, and some more, and some more. And like we're doing right now, see that? I'm spreading it. Okay. Now, if you see that, look at that. Those little stripes like that, I'm gonna hold it a little, but you will see them disappear. Now, what you have here is almost like a resin sort of a finish. And here you have a little bit of a dent from the silicone, because I didn't clean the canvas first. But you know, if you have this polyurethane gloss varnish, you're thinking, wow, this is gonna be beautiful, right? Because it's so nice and smooth and doesn't show any brush strokes. And then I'll show it to you next weekend, because I'm gonna let it dry like this, and you'll see that it's gonna crack. I'm pretty sure it will. It's gonna crack, and I see a lot of dents forming now because of the silicone, but you're gonna see it crack. So I'm gonna just let this one dry and I'll show it to you next weekend. But don't put a layer this thick on there when you're starting to varnish. You can do that, but way later, because this is not gonna work out. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Love you all to pieces, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.